you not going to the court like you did for the grand jury testimony to unseal those records?
The DOJ did go to the court.
No, not on those records. Why aren't you going? You just went on grand jury.
Time of the gentleman has expired.
You are hiding the Epstein files, Mr. Patel.
Time of the gentleman has expired.
You are part of the cover-up.
The FBI director has just confirmed that Donald Trump's name appears in the Epstein files and then refused to reveal what those files actually contain. This is not a conspiracy theory. It is what took place during a congressional hearing in front of cameras and on the official record. Kash Patel sat in that chair and acknowledged that Trump's name is mentioned in those files and then spent the rest of his time explaining why the public cannot see what is inside them. This is not about protecting victims, and it is not about court orders. This is about one man, chosen by Donald Trump, leading the FBI and deciding what the American people are allowed to know about one of the most powerful sex trafficking operations in modern history. Watch closely what happened, because once you understand what Patel said, and even more importantly what he refused to say, you will understand exactly who is being protected.
Mr. Patel, does Donald Trump appear anywhere in the Epstein files?
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
It's not a complicated question. Does Donald Trump appear anywhere in the Epstein files?
I didn't say it was a complicated question. I just didn't hear you, so my apologies. We have released where President Trump's name's in the Epstein files and everybody else, and all credible information that we are legally allowed to release has been released.
All right, so let's go through that. You're referring to court orders that prohibit you from releasing grand jury testimony under Rule 6E. Is that what you're referring to when you say as the law allows?
That's a piece of it.
Really? What other evidence do those three court orders you cited prohibit from being released?
Information that was collected pursuant to those search warrants that were limited
Wrong.
in fashion.
Wrong. That's not what the court order says, and that's not under 6E.
And you're talking, and I said that's 6E, and I said there was others, and I'm answering that there are sealed court order documents. There are protective orders.
They are unsealed as part of discovery given to Ghislaine Maxwell. They are no longer sealed.
That's just not true. We can argue about it all you want.
Okay, well, you agree that there are, so your testimony here is that the reason why you are not releasing all of the videos that you have acknowledged, there are so many, and that the FBI spent thousands of hours of reviewing, the photographs, the photographs that you have. You're saying that you're not releasing those because there's a court order requiring them to be sealed? Is that your testimony?
Never said that about the videos. On the totality of the videos, of the thousands of images that were seized pursuant to the search warrants executed at the time, the overwhelming majority of that video is pornographic material that was downloaded from the internet and child sexual abuse material. We will never release that.
Well, as you should not release the victims, but if there are videos that relate to others who Epstein trafficked to, such as maybe Prince Andrew, or photographs, that you have total control to release.
Yes, and if it exists...
And so why haven't you released it?
Why are you supposing that that is a fact when in fact it is false? Are you saying that
You're saying that none of the videos relate to anything relevant to the Jeffrey Epstein trafficking ring?
Every single video that we have collected pursuant to the prior search warrants has been examined for the last 10 years. And every single video has been utilized for whatever prosecutions were able to be legally brought.
I'm not asking about prosecutions. I'm asking about why you aren't releasing the full Epstein files, including the names of people who were involved in the sex ring that you promised to do before you became FBI director.
I just told you, I'm not going to release downloaded porn.
I'm not asking about that. Fine. I'm asking about all the other files.
What other videos? Tell me. Tell me.
That's what I'm asking.
Tell me.
You're saying there are no videos that would be relevant to anyone else involved in the Jeffrey Epstein sex ring.
Pursuant to Mr. Acosta's collection of information based on the search warrants. That's all we have in our possession.
And I'm asking you, that stuff.
That's all we got.
I'm not asking all you got. I'm asking you, in that stuff, there's nothing that's related to any other sex traffic, any other people engaged with Epstein in underage sex.
That's correct. To my knowledge, no.
Okay. Let's talk about the witness interviews. 302s of witness interviews. Those are not subject to the court order, those are not subject to any fictional sealed order for a search warrant. Why aren't you releasing those with the redacted names of the victims?
We are releasing as much as legally allowed. That's why we went back to
How
the
is that?
courts.
How is that not legally allowed?
Sir, do you know how court orders work? Do you know how protective orders
Actually,
work? Do you know how
Mr.
sealing
Patel,
orders
I was a
work?
prosecutor, a real prosecutor for 10 years. I know exactly how.
So I was a
court
fake one?
orders. And I want to understand what the court order prevents you from releasing witness statements that the FBI took.
You should know that as a real prosecutor, when the court hand downs a protective order and a motion to seal, the material is sealed unless
So
that
your
judge
testimony
waives
here
it.
is that all of those witness statements are under a court order, a protective order.
We are providing everything we can legally provide.
Now, that's not my
Congress
question.
has sent us a
My
subpoena.
question is, why are those witness statements that are not grand jury testimony, that if they were under a protective order are no longer under a protective order, why are they not being released?
How are they not
And
under protective
Why
order?
are you not going to the court like you did for the grand jury testimony to unseal those
The
records?
DOJ did go to the court.
No, not on those records. Why aren't you going? You just went on grand jury.
Time of the gentleman has expired. The
You are hiding the Epstein files,
time
Mr.
of the
Patel.
gentleman has expired.
You are part of the cover-up.
Can I respond?
Sure can.
Any allegations that I'm a part of a cover-up to protect child sexual trafficking and victims of human trafficking and sexual crimes is patently and categorically false in the work of my
So I hope you will talk to them when they
Gentlemen,
have
time has
requested
expired.
to speak with you. Because the
Gentlemen, time has
victims have
expired. Gentleman
requested
yields
and you are
back.
not responding to them.
The victims have spoken, yet you are not responding to them. Daniel Goldman asked a simple question. Does Donald Trump appear anywhere in the Epstein files? Kash Patel did not say no, and he did not say the question was irrelevant. Instead, he confirmed it and said Trump's name is in the files and that everything legally permitted has already been released. That answer is doing a lot of work because what Patel is really telling you is that yes, Trump is in there, and no, you cannot see why. Goldman pushed further and asked about witness statements, FBI 302 reports, and interview records taken from people connected to the Epstein investigation, not grand jury testimony or sealed court documents, but ordinary witness interviews collected by agents. Patel responded by claiming they are all under court order, but Goldman did not accept that and pointed out that many of those protective orders were already lifted during Ghislaine Maxwell's discovery process. Patel insisted that was not true, and a former federal prosecutor who spent 10 years in that role told the FBI director he was wrong about how court orders work, while Patel responded by mocking him as a real prosecutor. This is the director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and his approach to handling questions about the Epstein files is to insult the people asking them. To be clear about Patel's own record, in 2023, before becoming FBI director, he was asked why the Epstein list had not been released, and his answer on camera was simple. Because of who is on that list, those were his words, meaning he said the list exists. He said names are on it, and he said that is the reason it has not been released. Now he sits in that chair, installed by one of the people whose name is in those files, and tells Congress he has released everything he legally can, while also claiming there is no credible information at all that Epstein trafficked victims to anyone else, suggesting he acted alone in running a decade-long international sex trafficking operation. Republican Representative Thomas Massie challenged that directly and stated that alleged victims have given FBI interviews naming at least 20 men, but Patel replied that 3 U.S. attorneys reviewed those interviews and concluded the allegations were not credible, meaning 3 prosecutors appointed under the same administration connected to this process decided none of it holds up, and they are the ones determining what is credible. Representative Ted Lieu pushed Patel to subpoena the Epstein estate, which holds significant unreleased material, but Patel said the estate is not required to comply even with a subpoena, and Lieu replied that this was false, telling him that he is the FBI. Patel did not give a meaningful answer. Then there is Pam Bondi, who told the public in February that the Epstein client list was sitting on her desk, ready for review. But when the release came, it contained only documents already available to the public with no new names and no client list. Reports say nearly 1,000 FBI personnel worked around the clock for 2 weeks reviewing Epstein records, yet the result was recycled material that told the public nothing new. Goldman accused Patel of being part of a cover-up, and Patel strongly denied it. But denial is not transparency, and anger is not accountability, and a man confirmed to have Trump's name in the files he controls, who refuses to release those files, and who was appointed by Trump, cannot simply call his own conduct fully transparent. The victims of Jeffrey Epstein have requested meetings with Patel, but he has not responded to them. The Epstein files should have been released long ago. That was the promise made by Patel, Bondi, and the wider administration that campaigned on accountability and transparency. What actually happened is that the man named by the president took control of the FBI, confirmed the president's name is in those files, and then kept everything behind layers of legal justification that even prosecutors in the room said do not hold up. Trump's name is in the Epstein files, Kash Patel controls the Epstein files, and Kash Patel was appointed by Trump. Connect those 3 points for yourself. If you still believe this administration will give you full truth about Jeffrey Epstein, you have not been paying attention, but now you have. So share this, because the people who need to answer for it are still in power, still delaying, and still relying on you to forget.